Hey, what's up, guys? This is Sam, and I'll be doing the free video for January 14th, 2022. So, another week in the books. A good week, interesting week, volatile week. Volatility is opportunity as a trader, so I hear. So, I can't ever complain when we have volatile weeks. Good close on the week, certainly. So, I'm going to start here with you guys with the SPY. I'm going to start with the SPY. I'm going to show you kind of the lay of the land that I see in terms of the big picture with the S&P 500 SPY. And then I already finished doing the premium video with the folks in the gold room, so I already kind of know where to look a little bit. We looked across the markets, and a lot of things were very neutral. Very neutral. And when you have neutral structures like this, like you're kind of looking at one here on the SPY, and I'll get into a little bit more as to why, then I think the best thing to do is to start looking for individual stock strength, right? When the indices are neutral, and I love to trade the indices, but when they're neutral, I think it makes a little bit more sense to find the relative strength winners, something that looks way better than the index, and just trade that. So let's dive in here to the SPY first, and then we'll do the relative strength winners here. So one really important thing here with the SPY is that trend oscillator over there on the far left did hold for now. So the green line remains above the red. It's not perfect, right? You don't want to see a divergence where price goes up and the indicator goes down. That's not entirely good, but I can give it some level of a pass for now, because it is still structured. So you came down to the 21, you wicked off of it very nicely. Very good close today that saved it. And then the thing that stood out to me when I was doing the premium videos for the gold room was the volume. The volume this week was very good. Higher than last week, which is good. However, if you look at things from a momentum point of view, this is not a bearish condition. I understand you're going to say, well, the red line is on top of the green line. That can't be good. You're right. You'd be right. It can't be wildly bullish. You cannot. This is not a wildly bullish situation, and it hasn't been for some time. But you see how both lines are above the middle? So what does that mean? We introduced the concept of neutral bull, right? Basically, it's bullish because both lines are above the middle, but it's not wildly bullish because the red is above the green. So we neutralize that and say it's still bullish. We don't want to go crazy shorting this thing yet, but it's not impulsively bullish like it would be back here before it broke down. So pretty neutral structure here, right? Pretty neutral structure at best. This is a neutral bull. You have neutral bull here as well. So the indices aren't giving a lot away, and they kind of look like they're setting up for a little bit of a bounce and then just chop, like sideways chop. So not the worst thing in the world. When that happens, then we just start looking for individual underlyings that look better. So one thing that I noticed that looks better is actually semiconductors. Now you can look at that with SMH, and I'm going to let you do that with on your end, but I'm just going to take you right to the best one in the semiconductor space, the best setup at the moment, and that's going to be Qualcomm. So this one I think grades out the best. We've looked at a lot of semis in the room, and this one just continuously grades out the best. Frankly, it's one of the better setups in the market, period. So that's always a bonus. Got a squeeze. You notice how this indicator here, it looks correct. This is what we mean by, correct trend. So in that instance, you have solid trend. You flagged into the 50. That's really bullish action. Good volume today, too. So really bullish action. Probably one of the better picks that I will have for you. So keep Qualcomm high on your list. If you find a better semiconductor than Qualcomm, put it in the comments. Let me know what you find. If you find a better semiconductor than Qualcomm, I'll send you a Dogecoin. I'll make you a deal. So that's Qualcomm. And again, the semis I think in general are good here. They ranked out as one of the better sectors overall. So I don't think you can go necessarily wrong with the semis unless the market just tanks. But the semis grade out very strong. But then when you have graded out the sector as strong, which the semis are, then you try to find the strongest thing in that neighborhood. And the strongest thing in the neighborhood of the semis is Qualcomm. Unless you find something different, then put it in the chat or put it in the comments. And if you win and you find something better, I'll send you a shiny Dogecoin. Um, Let me take a quick look at this one. Let me see if this one makes sense for the beautiful people on the YouTube or not. I think it does. So leave this one on your watch list. It's not aligned like the Qualcomm setup. I picked up just one call on this so I can keep track on it. Um, and then if it starts to work out, I'm going to continue to build into this. I like the pattern. I like the fact that it's starting to shape back up. And then the weekly over there on the left, you can just see it, right? You don't even need for me to describe it. It just pops. When you're holding the 21 like that in a squeeze, and you have this gigantic, beautiful trend oscillator, that's absolutely perfect. So keep this one on your radar. Does it grade out as high as Qualcomm? Mm, no, it doesn't. But Qualcomm's kind of very high on the list. Next up was energy. And on energy here, again, you really want to dive in and find something that looks very good, that's better than the sector. And there's going to be quite a few things. Off the top of my head, Chevron, Devon, EOG, things like that. I want you to write this down or at least try to remember it. If you think that interest rates are going to go higher, the best thing to buy is actually banks, number one, energy, number two, industrials, number three. So if you think rates are going higher, that's the order of operations that you want to work with. Banks, energy, industrials. So don't sleep on the energy here. It is extended. It is extended, so a prudent pullback makes sense, but keep it on your watch list. And then lastly, one that you may ask, why am I showing you this? Because for you beautiful folks on the YouTubes here, I like to keep things as aligned as possible so that when you see it, even if you're not a member, you just get it, right? Like when I pulled up Qualcomm, hopefully you just saw it. It was like pop. This one's not going to pop to you, but I want to show it to you anyways. And mostly I'm going to show it to you because I'm going to recruit you guys to help me find something in this sector. So let me describe it first, and then I'll let you know what your mission is. So with XLV here, I noticed when I was doing the free video, a very interesting thing happened here. You can see that the trend oscillator was actually correct, and you had great trend on the daily chart. That arrow is pointing backwards on the daily chart that you can't see. But you can see the exact moment where that trend ended. You see this moment right here where the trend oscillator overlaps with the red arrow here? That basically calls an end to the trend. Now, has it had up moves? Yeah, it has. That's a pretty good up move. But notice how it doesn't hold it, right? And that's what it means. Basically, once you've transitioned from this phase to this phase, you're now more in chop. So why is that important to us, right? Why do we care? Because right there was your transition point where the green line broke on the top indicator. So when you have a neutral structure like this, keep in mind both, even though it's not correct, red is on top of the green, but both lines are above the middle. This is a bull neutral structure. Okay. Tell me more, Sam. What does that mean? It means you ignore it. You've gotten all the information you need from it, and then you start using the bottom indicator. So do you see how after a transition into chop, almost every single turn has been nailed by the indicator? So if that's the case, and this thing is cyclical, then what do you think probably happens next? It probably goes into an upcycle, right? Because it's cyclical, probably something like that. You don't have an arrow yet, but that's, kind of front running the signal. So we understand that. We understand that we're closer to the bottom. We understand that we're still a neutral bull structure. Not too shabby. And then you have a hammer candle there that's typically a pretty good beginning stage reversal candle. And it's all happening across the weekly 21. So even though this is the least aligned thing that I brought you, and this is on purpose because I want to challenge you guys a little bit, I would like for you guys to let me know in the comments if you find anything in the XLV that looks better than this that we could trade, because I think this is setting up a bottom in the XLV temporarily, short term, and this is one of the sectors I don't trade very often. So I'd like to know what you guys see, and go ahead and just drop the ticker in the comments, and we'll see if any of these tickers are tradable going into next week, and that'll allow us to make a game plan as a group and have a little bit of fun. So to go back to the beginning stage, the most the best thing that I could show you is probably Qualcomm. It's just all roads kind of lead there. The semis are in a very good spot, and then Qualcomm is the best of the semis. But also, you can kind of see what I'm doing here with XLV. So let's help each other out. If you find anything better, post it in the comments. Before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, be sure to leave us a like. We certainly do appreciate it. In a world run by algorithms, likes are like oxygen to our channel. So if you like our content at all, be sure to subscribe, leave us a like, and that would certainly help us with the Google algorithm gods. All right, guys, that's my time. I hope all of this was helpful. Stay safe next week. Stay safe next week. Keep in mind, the markets are somewhat neutrally positioned here, but there are some very decent bright spots out there. So it's your job as a trader to find them, to manage your risk, and to extract as much profit from the market as you can. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you for the next one. Cheers. Hey guys, this is Sam, and I'm the Director of Equities at Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching this video, and before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, I'd like to ask that you comment and like the video. It really does help us out with the algorithm and getting the message out to more folks who like to see our content. Also, be sure to click the bell notification and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything that comes out. If you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, come over to simplertrading.com and learn how to sign up. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.